no C. Let's get into it. I feel so weird getting on here and filming, but this video is going to be just a big chit chat, you know, almost like a FaceTime call with your bestie, catching up, you know, seeing where you've been. This is that type of vibe. So I was gonna take notes, but I'm like, let me just get on here and talk. Turn the camera on and just chit chat with you guys. I'm actually really excited to turn on the camera and talk to you guys. It's crazy. I was looking at like old footage. I've been, you know, filming little clips here and there, but I haven't anyways, I'm really happy to be back on here talking to you guys, and I owe you some sort of explanation as to where I've been. I don't want to just get back and start posting content again without kind of sitting down and just being real with you guys as to where I've been. You know, it's been literally almost a year that I have posted a YouTube video, and this is the longest break that I've ever taken when it comes to YouTube. So I want to also thank you guys for all of the sweet messages that you guys have been sending me on Instagram, and just kind of checking in to see, like, girl, I hope you're okay, like, we can't wait to see you again. And honestly, those messages mean so much to me, and I want to thank you guys for even caring like watching my videos, supporting my content still. If you're still here, I want to say thank you, and I appreciate you more than you know. So a little backstory as to where I've been. So the last vlog that I posted, I believe, was when I had went back home with my boyfriend for my sister's baby shower. I went out there to North Carolina. It was such a great time. My parents were able to meet my boyfriend. I was able to celebrate my sister's baby shower. Yeah, she had a baby. And it was just crazy. So pretty much that was my last vlog, and you know, the reason to that was because y'all, so much has happened, guys, and I just want you to know that I didn't stop posting because I didn't like making content, because I was done with YouTube, or like, no, that was not because of that. I just really needed space. I was really going through a lot, like mentally. That was the lowest point that I've ever felt in my life, when I was so depressed, going through so much stuff, and it was just really hard to turn on a camera and vlog when I'm like stuck in bed all day. Like, I'm just being real. So anyways, that was my last vlog, and I'm just gonna kind of give you a rundown as to like kind of what happened between then and now. So I went to North Carolina. Before going to North Carolina, y'all know I was working as a teacher. So I was working as a teacher, and not gonna lie, I never felt super passionate about teaching. I mean, shoot, you guys know, like on my previous vlogs, I will tell you how I was trying to get out of teaching. I was having so much drama with the school that I was teaching at, and I just was never really happy with teaching. It was one of those things where, you know, I knew I wanted to move to Houston. I knew I needed a job. This was 2020, so during COVID, I landed a great opportunity at the first school that I taught at, and you know, till this day, I'm not going to talk down on that school, talk down on the experience. The experience I had was just the experience I had. It served its purpose. I loved my students. I'm really grateful for the principal at that time for even letting me, you know, work there with having zero experience in a classroom. So yeah, that experience was that. So afterwards, I kind of knew like I didn't want to stay in teaching. So I started applying to a lot of tech jobs. I wanted to break into tech. So I started taking like some courses here and there, but it was so hard for me to land a job. I needed to find another job because I couldn't keep commuting back and forth to that previous school that I taught at. The first school that I started teaching at when I moved here was all the way in like League City, and I'm here in Houston. So it's like that commute every single day was sometimes over an hour back and forth. And I was on 45, just stuck in traffic, and it was too much, like going back and forth, back and forth. So I knew I needed to find another job. It was really hard for me to get a tech job, so I ended up getting an offer at this other school. It was a charter school. It was closer to me, and from the outside it seemed like, oh, okay, you know, cool. But it ended up being just like a really bad experience. I don't want to say it was worse than the first school, but it was just like so much more pressure. It was a charter school, so like a public school in the district. I had so many students in my classroom. They were all Spanish speakers. I was the only, I mean, I am half Hispanic, but I don't speak Spanish. It was just a lot of stuff. My children, again, super sweet, but just the pressure from like the administration. There was really no support for the teacher when it came to that. The teacher was expected to do literally everything. They wanted us to go travel to the houses on like before school even started to get to know the family and like, you know, go into the children's homes. And it was just a lot of stuff that I just was like, nah, I don't think this is for me either. Like it didn't really feel like, I knew that I didn't want this job, but it was almost like I knew that I kind of had to take it because I wasn't able to land a tech job just yet. And I really needed to like, move on from that last job. So I kinda stepping into that opportunity didn't really feel right, but I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it for the time being and I'm gonna make the best of it. So I did, but you know, literally within a few months, I just felt so much pressure. The hours at this school were literally like 10-hour days. We had to serve the children dinner and stuff because, you know, like I said, it's a underprivileged community, so we had to give them dinner. Like I wasn't getting home until like literally past 6 o'clock. I was waking up at 6 to get there. Like, so my days were super, super long. And it just, I couldn't stand the principal, other colleagues. Like I didn't feel like I had anyone that I could really, you know, talk to. I don't know what happened, but like I really felt like no one liked me from the start. I felt like the principal, administration didn't like me from the start. Like there was something off about the vibe there. I was the youngest teacher. I was the only one, you know, that wasn't fully Hispanic. The only, like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't speak Spanish. So it was just, the vibes were weird there, yo. Like, I'm not even trying to, I don't want to come across like I'm complaining, but I just felt like they didn't like me from the start. I'm just going to leave it at that. So anyways, I say all that to say, March comes around. It's my sister's baby shower. I have vacation days. I have, you know, time off. And the way it works is you put in a request at least like a week in advance, letting them know that, hey, you're gonna need a sub for this day because, you know, I'm using my time off. You know, I had time off. And I was just putting in the request that I needed this. It was like it was literally a Friday and a Monday. I wasn't gone for too long at all. It was probably like 2 days. So I prepared my assignments for my classroom. I wrote notes for the sub, and I did all that, you know. And I put in my request. And I get an email. Oh, I already bought, like, my boyfriend got the plane tickets and everything. Like, we were already set to go. You know, it's my sister's baby shower, like, we're going. So I put in my request, and then I get an email saying your request is denied. I'm like, wait, what? Like, how is my request denied? Like, how is it denied? I'm confused because I did what I needed to do, and they told me literally like a day before I was leaving. I'm like, all right, I put this in a week in advance, and now you're just saying it's denied. So I responded back. I'm like, can you tell me why this is denied? You know, I put in my request, you know, following the policy 7 days in advance. The ticket is already like booked, like I'm gonna be gone. So can you just tell me why? And they never responded. So I'm like, and keep in mind, during this whole time, I'm going to interviews still. Like I'm doing my tech courses like on my lunch break while the students are at lunch. I'm going to interviews during my lunch break, y'all. I'm taking days off just to go to interviews. Like I was already kind of like over this, but I was trying hard to at least, you know, finish up the school year. And I was gonna leave at the, like I wasn't just gonna like disappear, you know. I was gonna put in my notice and like wait till I have something lined up. So anyways, they denied my request, and I'm like, they don't say why. So you know me, I went to North Carolina. I went home for my sister's baby shower. That's what y'all saw in the vlog. It was so much fun. I loved it. My family met my boyfriend, and it was just such a fun time there. Then I come back to Houston. I wake up, and I remember I told my boyfriend when we got back, I said, babe, something doesn't feel right. Like, something doesn't feel right. I really feel like they're going to fire me. Like, I was like, I don't feel right. Like, I was getting up and I was telling him, I was like, I don't know. Like, I'm going into work that morning. I mean, every morning I kind of dreaded going in. But this morning in particular, I felt the energy was off. But he's like, no, you need to go, like, da-da-da. So I'm like, okay. So I go, and when I walk in to the classroom, there's a sub in there. So I'm like, that's weird, because I only needed the sub those 2 days. I'm back now, so why is there a sub? So I am a little confused, but I walk in, say hey to my students. They were so happy to see me back. I was happy to see them. So I start with their warm-up. The sub had left because she was like, oh, maybe I'm in the wrong classroom. I'm like, yeah, maybe. So next thing you know, I get a call in the classroom, and they're like, oh no, it wasn't a call. There was this lady named Miss Torres. I do not like her. Her energy was horrible. When I tell you, these people in that administration, they were so rude. That's why I'm like, I don't know what it was that they just did not like me. Like, I don't know. Maybe because I didn't eat lunch with them. And I kind of stood to myself. Like, I would be in my classroom doing my courses. But I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was. So anyway, she comes to the door. She's like, Miss Miranda, Miss Garcia wants to see you. So I'm like, okay. So I go over there, and I'm sitting, waiting. And the sub is in the office, and she's just sitting there too. And I overhear them say she's a long-term sub. But I'm like, okay. Next thing you know, Miss Torres, the same one who told me to go over there, she's like, actually, Miss Garcia says just go to your classroom. Just you can go back and continue teaching. So I'm like, okay. So I go back, I continue teaching, I do the warm-up, I do part of ELA, and then the students leave to go to PE. And after that, I get a phone call from Miss Garcia, and she's like, oh, they wanna, you need to go to the other campus to talk to HR. So I'm like, okay. And when I got that call, I kind of already knew, like, all right, you know, I had proof of my stuff that I put in my request. Like, I had all my stuff together. So I went over there kind of already prepared. And when I got in, they were pretty much just like, we're letting you go. And I was like, why? And I put in my request. They were like, yeah, but we denied it. And I was like, well, y'all never told me why y'all denied it. And y'all waited until the day before I was leaving to deny it. Like, even if I were to, like, cancel the plans, like, that's such short notice. Anyways, they were just like, yeah, well, we denied it, da 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 da. When I left that school, I felt like a weight was lifted off my shoulder. I felt so happy. I was in such a good mood because I'm just like, you know what? I was over it in the first place. So I was kind of like feeling good, feeling great. But then real life started to happen. So I've never left a job without having anything lined up. I'm very responsible when it comes to that. I don't care if I'm super miserable at the job. I'm not gonna just leave like that. You know, I'm gonna have my stuff together. So this was the first time where it really felt like the rug was literally like pulled from underneath my feet, and I was just there like, okay, so what do I do? I remember I went straight to my boyfriend's house. I'm furious, I'm fuming. I'm like, I can't believe this happened. Like, that's just so messed up. I tried to file for unemployment. I told them all the stuff that happened. It was denied because the school lied and said that I never put in a request. Guys, I put in the request. I have proof of the request, but I wasn't able to get unemployment. It was okay because I had, you know, my savings. I was living off of that. But, you know, and I would have little things here and there. But it's funny how when you're not having, like, income coming in, like, every 2 weeks, that, like, I'm used to that. Like, I'm used to working jobs, stable income. When you don't have that, it gets kind of scary. Like I was saying, things got a little scary, crazy. I'm not going to get into the details with that, like, towards the end of summer. But I was just... You know, it started out cool at first. I'm like, shoo, I'm at Pilates. I'm like, da 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 da. I'm still trying to post content on like Instagram and stuff. But deep down, you guys, I just was really sad and I was really depressed. You know, I started doing just like, I don't know, I just didn't feel good. I got my insurance license, was going back and forth to the Woodlands, working with this lady, this other girl and her dad. Did that for a little bit of time. Things started getting a little sketchy because they weren't wanting to pay me my commissions and they were making it seem like they were making all this money, but I don't really think they were. And then they, like I said, they weren't paying me. It was just a mess, guys. It was a mess and I just was in a really dark place, and I've never felt like that before. And I just knew that, you know, I wanted to film, I wanted to, you know, I didn't want to leave you guys hanging, but at the same time, my health, you know, my mental health, my well-being comes before anything. So I didn't want to put out content and fake it like, hey, knowing that, you know, I'm literally going through it. So yeah, that's what happened. Then next thing you know, I get a call. This is in like October. I get a call. So yeah, I ended up getting a call from Neiman Marcus. They wanted me to come in for a seasonal part-time position. And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even apply to that. So that was so shocking. I've applied obviously before when I first moved out here actually. I was applying to luxury retail, but I wasn't able to get anything because I didn't have any experience. So when they called me, I'm just like, this is God. Like, this is literally God. And at that time, you know, I was waking up early every single morning, putting in applications, you know, really hustling and trying to get my stuff together. So when that happened, I'm like, what? So I did that. I met some really great people during my time working there seasonally. And then come January, they offered me, well, they actually offered me a full-time position as a client advisor, literally within a month of me being there seasonally, because they saw, you know, my work ethic, my hustle, you know, I was selling a lot and, you know, showing up on time and just really putting my best foot forward. So yeah, they offered me the position, started there full-time in January, and here we are now. All right, y'all, so as you see, I kind of had to switch angles because my camera is acting funny when it knows that, maybe because it knows it hasn't used it in a minute, so okay, I'll give it a pass. But that's pretty much it. So, you know, now I'm working at Neiman Marcus. I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, you probably see me posting a lot more about that. And yeah, it feels right. It literally feels right. Everyone in my family, they've been super supportive. They're like, oh my gosh, it's almost like this was meant to be. And honestly, that's what it feels like. It feels like God had to strip me from a place where he knew that I wasn't happy. He knew that it wasn't for me. It wasn't my passion. And he knew that, you know, I'm stubborn, and it's almost like I would have stayed in it. Like I would have stayed in it until I found something else, and I would have, you know, like, it's crazy. God literally had to strip me from that to place me where he wanted me to be placed. And throughout this whole time, yes, I was going through it, and yes, I was depressed, but at the same time, I felt such a trust in God. I would not be here today if it weren't for God. And, you know, I had the love and support of my boyfriend, my family, and it's crazy. And there's a lot that I'm not even getting into because, you know, it's crazy. But anyways, I'm here, I'm good, I'm great, I'm blessed, and I'm just so excited to be finally ready to, you know, talk to you guys again, talk to the camera again, and get back into my YouTube stuff. So what does that mean for the future of this channel? I'm gonna still post daily vlogs, not daily vlog, weekly vlogs. I'm gonna still, you know, do get ready with me's and stuff, but I really want to kind of hear from you guys. What do y'all want to see more of on YouTube? I feel like YouTube is kind of fading out. Like a lot of people aren't doing it anymore, but I'm gonna keep doing it because it's just something about it. I feel so passionate about, like, turning on the camera, creating content. But I have some ideas in my head of things that I want to start doing on this channel, but I'm curious to hear from you guys and what you want to see more of. Recently I've been liking a lot of those types of videos where it's like girl talks, where we can just like chat about different things, chat about relationships, friendships, dating, just like everything, like goals, mindset, lifestyle. So we will see. But like I said at the beginning of the video, I want to thank you guys for sticking with me. Those of you who have been messaging me, honestly, your support means the world to me, and I'm just so happy to be back and filming again. And I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you very soon in the next video. Oh, and before I cut it, if you are going through something, and if it seems like, you know, you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, you are not alone. You're not alone. Don't give up. God redirects you for a reason, and sometimes you have to submit to his redirection in order to be moved to where you're meant to be. So just keep that in mind. You're not alone. You got this, and God has a plan for you at the end of the day. But yeah, I just wanted to share that. But I love you guys so much, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye.